looking at very carefully.
You did mention there an action China just took in regard to export controls, meaning they have this stranglehold on a lot of critical minerals, and they just blocked the export of two of them that are really essential for computer chips. How should people understand this? Is this a warning shot? Is this Beijing saying, look at what we can do, and if you take further restrictions, we'll ramp it up from here?
Well, I certainly express concern about this action and contrasted it with the actions that we've taken. Our own actions are narrowly targeted to address national security concerns, and it's not clear that the actions that the Chinese took are similarly narrowly targeted at their national security concerns. So this is an area that I expressed concern about.
Do you mean, are you suggesting there that it was just a retaliatory action?
Well, potentially.
Are you concerned that this is the beginning of an escalation?
Well, my purpose is to make sure that we don't engage in a series of unintended escalatory actions that will be harmful to our overall economic relationship with one another. And we have had very little contact, both senior officials and also just the American people and the Chinese people have had very little contact with one another over the last several years, in part because of COVID. And that's a situation where misunderstandings can develop. We have a new team on the economic side in Beijing, that it's important to establish person-to-person relationships and to open ongoing channels of communication where concerns can be aired and discussed. And I do think my trip has been successful in forging those relationships and creating the opportunity for a deeper set of more frequent contacts at our staff levels.
I was just in China. I know how much concern there is there about the slowing of the economy. Are you concerned that the slowdown in China will have a negative impact and drag U.S. growth?
Well, that is a topic that I discussed with my Chinese counterparts. We talked about the policy actions that they think see as appropriate to stimulate their economy and promote what they describe as high-quality growth. And I was able to better understand the actions that they do think are appropriate.
How significant are the problems in the Chinese economy?
You know, I think that they've opened up their economy following its closure from COVID and are working through a series of issues relating to issues in the property sector and real estate. And consumer spending there has rebounded a little bit less. Consumers are showing more caution and saving more than many commentators expected, many economic forecasters expected. But my counterparts talked about their perspective on this and the actions that they're taking.
Before I let you go, I do want to ask you about the economy here at home. What signal should Americans at home be looking for to understand that economic growth will be back at a point like it was before the pandemic?
It's my hope that and belief that there is a path to bring inflation down in the context of a healthy labor market. And the data that I've seen suggests we're on that path.
The jobs number did suggest a little bit of a slowdown there. Is the risk of recession completely off the table from your point of view? I mean, where do you put the odds?
It's not completely off the table, but we would expect with the job market as strong as it is now to see a slower pace of ongoing job gains. Prime age labor force participation is at the highest level in several decades. So we've seen this strong job market attract workers back to it. But as that stabilizes at a high level, we should expect the monthly job gains to be coming down toward a more normal level.
And you can see our full conversation